الابيزود الثالثة من طاولة وكريسي مش كيف كل ابيزود. الابيزود اليوم متقسمت على دو بارتي تلمون نوتر انفيتي عطانا بليزيور انفورماسيون مش بالسهل نلقاهم، وتلمون السوجي اللي حكينا عليه كبير ومهم برشا للشركات في العالم الكل، وليك انتي كنت تحب تعمل فلوس من الحاجة هذه. البارتي الأولى من الابيزود ديجا هبطت ما تفوتهاش، تلقى اللين متاعها في الديسكريبسيون وفي البيوت تاع الكونت انستغرام طاولة وكريسي. اما البارتي الثانيه نخليك تسمعها توا وتركز فيها مليح، خاطر باش تسمع مونطو ما ينجم كان يموتيفيك اكثر عن اللي نحكيو عليه.
طاولة وكريسي بودكاست.
البودكاست هذا مسجل في استوديو وفروا البروغرام ترانسفورماسيون ديجيتال دو لا GIZ تونيزي.
دين بعد ما قلنا لي الفيرست بيريود اللي باش يبدا فيها الواحد في الفي بروفيسيونيل باش تكون لايك مينلي ميد باش يزيد يتعلم يكون his profile يردو like as good as possible. Then we want to tackle some good opportunities que ce soit في تونس ولا البرة من تونس. Can you tell us كيفاش نجم نلقاو such opportunities؟
Donc, for someone who's already well defined, like understanding the process, and فاهم job description of a UX designer, ويلوج توا على opportunity. It's really important to have somewhat of a visibility في المارشي لوكال أو الحال نحكيو على تونس. You need to have either your work available, as in portfolios, or sharing your work في les réseaux اللي they are interested in user experience. Work and also that are interested in user experience projects. Circles like LinkedIn, like certain social platforms. You need to have somewhat of a visibility. You can be the best designer in the world, and like nobody will know about you. So that's one of the most important things. You start to have somewhat of a visibility, somewhat of a network. And you actually know what you're doing, and you're actually delivering things in the field of UX design. This is the first step for you to get opportunities. The second thing you can do is reach out to find these opportunities. خاطر العباد زاد كيف كيما فما دي بروفيل فما لي opportunités. Again, LinkedIn, for example, you can find a lot of opportunities. People seeking freelancers, people seeking experts, and you can reach out. You can apply. You can reach out to them directly. You can have a conversation because it's really. You should be really flexible. في البوان هذه that's why where communication skills are really important. أما نحكيو حتى في تونس you can reach out to these people. وان فيت أكبر مشكلة في تونس اللي فما مشكل فما like a defect في الماتش ميكينج بينات لي opportunity وبينات لي بروفيل. Like there is a really serious problem. There is people looking for like skilled individuals, and there are skilled individuals who have no interest or think that there is no interesting projects in Tunisia. So once we have the matchmaking going on, it will be a lot better for both parties. So that's for Tunis. That's for the case of Tunisia. And just you have visibility, you have your work visible, and they can find you. That in itself will create opportunities. I can give like a really small example. خدمت un concept un certain moment في Dribble. Dribble is like a portfolio for UI designers. خدمته في like 15 minutes. Like it was so random. It was so random. And that concept بقى يسيركل في الانترنت يمكن تو 3 ولا 4 سنين مازال يسيركل في الانترنت. Like it was like a really very cool aesthetics. مزيان برشا كومبينيزون كولور. And it kept generating revenues. عباد تجيني اترافير البروجي هذاك نتاع 15 minutes تنجمش تخدم لي حاجه كيف الستيل هذاك. So a really simple effort. معناها جيتي même pas assez investi فيه. And it kept really going on and on and on. So إنسان آخر peut-être plus investi نجم يهبط des concepts يهبط خدمة يهبط يبارتاجي son process
يخلي خدمته معناها تحكي عليه.
Exactement. يخلي الخدمة تحكي عليه باك ديفو البزوان باش يجي. خاطر أي إنسان يلوج على الإكسبرتيز they will ask for it. شكون expert تعرف شكون expert. So eventually all the leads will go to you. surtout في مارشي اللي فيه برشا like نقص في لي بروفيل
كيما عندنا في تونس.
بالضبط في تونس. بالنسبه للبرا it gets a little bit more complicated خاطر البار تطلع شوي like the minimum level needed it's a little bit more complex وزاد لي بروجي sont plus définis. معناها مش يمكن برشا من لي فورما نتاع لي بروجي في تونس نتاع اوكي حاجتي بدي ماكيت ولا حاجتي ب دي انترفاس نتاع سيت ويب ريسبونسيف وهكا. البرا نحكيو على بروسيس، نحكيو على اناليز، نحكيو على there is more complexity to it. So تدخل في الحكايه دو فاكتور اخرين، الكوميونيكيشن usually in a certain language English French whatever اما communication skills, and the second is understanding the field, understanding the business, understanding the deliverables that you have to work on. Donc pour attaquer les opportunités là-bas, you have to be able to compete with their level of design or level of designers, or you need to offer something to the table اللي هو مش ما فماش غاديكا. It doesn't have to be the price. حتى برشا عباد تلعب على comme si I work with less, I'm less expensive so they will work with me. You can work as expensive as they are, you can deliver something with more quality and you still get the job. So international market is really open, so it's just up to you to be part of it. How you can do it, again, showing more work, sharing your work internationally. فما كيف des sites web فيهم des partages de concepts, de portfolio كل شيء على l'échelle internationale, Dribble, Behance, there is really a lot of them. So make sure you have somewhat of a visibility, and eventually people will come to you خاطر there is a serious need for these opportunities, and you can develop these opportunities bit by bit. تنجم تكون collaboration à long terme, تنجم تكون بعد حتى full-time employment.
Full-time.
So exactly. So it's networking / visibility, and eventually good ethics و good output ينجم يحلك برشا بيبان اخرين.
واضح. وتوا باش نحكيو على الفيول تاع الخدمه اللي هو بيزيكلي الماني. دونك انت ديجا قلت من الاول ما لازمكش تبدا معناتها الفوكس نتاعك مينلي على الفلوس وكل، لازم تخدم باش تعمل جود بروفايل وتجيب ريفيوز وكل. مي ان سانتان مومون دونك بعد ما تعلمت وكل المارشي معناها نحبوا نسالوا قداش المارج ولا بليتو الانترفال نتاع لي سالير بالنسبه لليو اي يو اكس ديزاينرز كسوا في تونس ولا على ليشيل انترناسيونال.
كيف ما حكينا بكري بذا. دونك when you start ما تخممش برشا في الفلوس خاطر مازلنا نحكيو أكثر على learning، مازلنا نحكيو أكثر على like refining your profile, refining your expertise, refining your knowledge بينات البراتيك والتيوريك etc. Over time bien sûr it's gonna tend to money خاطر everyone that's what everyone is chasing, or everyone is trying to get, rewarding their effort. So it's totally cool to look for a reward in that regard. But في تونس the good thing is اللي تويكا فما trend ولا فما معناها wave نتاع compensation intéressante على الاخر بالنسبه لي opportunités UX. مع un certain moment كان فما décalage بين développeur designer machin، فما séparation كبيره برشا visible حتى في لي سالير. توا ما هيش معناها uncommon انه a UX designer is the most paid person في equipe ولا في startup ولا at least in a development team. donc بالنسبة للانترفال في حد ذاتهم الحاجة الباهية اللي الجاب بريسك تنحات، ونجم نحكيو توا على دي سالير فات في لي 4 في لي 5000 بالنسبة لليو اكس ديزاينرز. فما دي باكيج ريتهم في معناها في دي زوبورتونيتي في تونس لوكاليزي في تونس مع دي كليون تونيزيان في ال 4000 en fait موجودين ليستي حتى في لينكدين.
دينار ولا دولار؟
دينار في
That's a good number actually.
اي
surtout معناها كتونس وكل.
exactement ce sont حاجات ليستي معناها على لينكدين، حاجات اكسيسيبل للناس الكل. donc je suis sûr اللي فما حتى ما اكثر في دي زوبورتونيتي اللي بلو سبيسيفيك خاطر لينكدين ممكن سي بلوتو كلي global it's public، اما باز فما حاجات اكثر بلو بيرسوناليزي. donc بالنسبه لليو اكس ديزاينر اللي يخمم في الريورد they can really think big numbers في تونس. ما زلنا ما نحكيوش حتى الباقي. they can really think big numbers as long as they bring value, as long as they understand what they're doing, as long as they also have like the references, have the qualifications, or have the understanding, the ability to build really good products. The reward is there. The field is needed. البروفيل مطلوب على الآخر. لي بروجي أكثر برشا من لي بروفيل. So it's just up to you to step up, to be there for the right opportunities. Bien sûr, you need to be able to get those opportunities again from a requirement. People are paying you for a reason, so you need to be able to deliver upon that. أما ما يمنعش لي opportunities هذوما موجودين في تونس. نحكيو كيما on a cité معناها فما des opportunités bien listées في ال 4-5 بالنسبة لل UX designers, so it's a good thing.
وبالنسبة للشيء الانترناسيونال
بالنسبة للشيء الانترناسيونال you can speak selon الفورمات اللي باش تخدم بها. تنجم تخدم per day, تنجم تخدم per month. You can speak about 800 euros per day. 900 euros per day. It's totally like standard for certain big companies. Bien sûr, ça varie. هذايا par rapport les références اللي خدمت معاهم. Mais ديما تبقى it's super comfortable. Like you are not situated, you're not making compromises. معناها par rapport other profiles. ماكش أقل من developer ولا more important ولا less important. You are your own profile. في entreprise وحاجة بيه اللي UX designers are getting a lot of recognition, are getting a lot of value within companies. So your development as financially, it will be as rewarding as you're investing into it. You're really into the field, and like you're really hyperactive in the field and trying to make sure you are part of the best designers. You will get part of the best rewards.
just قلت لنا اللي like you worked with the people اللي يخدموا euros وكل, so you worked بالبرا مع other معناها companies مش من تونس وكل.
Yes.
But why didn't you go there? علاش why did you stay here? Why did you choose to stay here?
So initially I stayed here for two reasons. The first one is I never really wanted to leave just to leave. I felt like as long as I can get these opportunities here in Tunis, I don't really feel like the urge I should go there. إذا كان أنت تنجم توقع في تونس وتخدم معاهم بالفورمول متاعهم, مش ما فورمول أدابتي على تونس, لا تخدم بالفورمول أوروبيان ولا مع الكليون ديريكت. Donc why do I don't feel the urge اللي لازمني نخرج just to get those opportunities. كي تجيني حاجة وهذه هزنا لل second thing, I will leave when I get an opportunity that needs me to leave. For example, to work with a big company such as Google, Microsoft, like a leading company that needs me or requires me to leave. But as long as I'm working with clients that are flexible to me working remotely, or also they can work with في format عادي على الآخر, and it's a win-win. Like and outside of all of this, it's about me also trying to share a little bit more, or give back a little bit more to my community here in Tunis. I feel like that's something I won't really get out abroad. The fact that even the ability to share with people who are relatable for you, the ability to give back a little bit, even in terms of experience, even in terms of exchanges like this, it's something that I enjoy, fairly enjoy, and people who know me already know that I enjoy it, and I do it for literally nothing.
The fact that you're here today is أكثر حاجة يعني shows that you love sharing experience and
it's my pleasure.
telling
it's
people
definitely a pleasure.
Also مش أول مرة معنا.
We also did workshops together على UI UX. That was good.
It's always
good.
a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Thank
and it brings, there is a certain feeling when you tell someone or share something with people that you know it can save them a lot of time, or save them a lot of efforts, or literally can be of value of them. So when I do workshops or when I do any event, for me mentally, I think if I can help just one person, save the time that I may be wasted, it will be totally worth it. And ironically, or the good thing is, almost with every event I come up with friends. Actually, it's not even like just sharing to, oh my god, okay, I'm an expert and you should listen. No, it's more like an organic exchange that benefits everyone. And for me, that in itself is kind of healing or kind of rewarding, and it gives me a lot of peace. Because I know that a lot of people have confusions. A lot of people want to hear a lot of things that they have to say, but they don't have a lot of people saying them. في تونس specifically, خاطر in Tunis, you can hear it from CEOs, you can hear it from companies. Okay, there is a need for UX, but
مش عبد قريب ليك
exactly. What I want to do is I want to give the image that you can also make it as a regular person, like as an employee, as a freelancer, or as someone who doesn't necessarily commit their life to a business, but you can still make it and enjoy have the best out of it.
You're actually being the person that you needed قبل.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also having this mentality helps destroying يعني الإيجو اللي حكينا عليه قبيلة اللي destroying kind of شوية community بتاع ال UI UX.
Exactly. There is a little bit of gatekeeping, like people who think that no one else should get into user experience because they like hold the keys to whatever, and that there is somewhat of a minimum effort that has to be put for you to be accepted in that community or whatever. That in itself is something I'm trying to help remove, because if it took me, for example, 3 years to learn or to master, I wouldn't say master, or to learn the foundation of user experience, but I know that you can do it in 1 year, that doesn't make me any better than you. Actually, it makes you having more potential to become better than me. So for me, if I can give you that fair play, like it doesn't take anything away from me to make you reach your goals better.
That's a really good mindset that everyone should think about.
Hopefully.
Yes, but being as active في الcommunity وكل, it's time consuming هكا عليه. Surely.
It can be.
أما how can you like maintain it مع الwork متاعك؟ كيفاش you do it؟ وكيفاش you're working actually now؟
So in terms of community, the thing is, as you probably know, I'm not like the flashiest person out there. So it's not like I'm totally dedicated to the community, but I try to like do as much as I can whenever I can. I know that probably I could be doing a little bit more, but still I'm not 100% like I can still like have some breaks, and I'm sometimes like I have some time in between in which I'm totally disappearing. So that allows me to find the balance sometimes when I need to. In terms of how I navigate my career, so as a consultant, usually you have a certain set number of hours, or like the way you function is usually more structured than working, for example, on your own company or in a smaller companies. When you work as a consultant for big companies, you have a pretty defined amount of hours, and you can have a clear vision on how you spend your day or how you spend your week. So that allows me to like structure what I want to do through the week or through the day. And in terms of like also participating in doing events, doing workshops, usually I can have like a little heads up. Okay, I know that for this week I can do this, I can do that, etc. So most of the time, my current format helps me navigate both things properly. Like I hardly find myself in a conflict, in a position of conflict, but still it can be draining sometimes to prepare like relevant information for people, especially students, and like make sure that everything I share or do is something fresh and something that is useful for them. So sometimes it can be draining, but most of the time I can navigate it really well.
Oh, and can you tell us more about what you're doing now, that big company and all?
Okay, so since 2016, I think 16, 17. So that's when I started, let's say, the more refined part of my career, because before that I was still exploring visual design, like still more generic, learning, etc. But since 2016, 2017, I joined Yango GmbH, which is a German company that is stated in Tunis, but working with German and French clients initially. So when I joined the company, it was like the biggest growth opportunity for me in terms of caliber of clients, in terms of responsibilities, in terms of also like the level I had to work with. So working with Yanugo, with Henrik specifically, which is my manager, allowed me to work directly with really, really high-end clients. He trusted me, he saw a lot of potential and he believed that I could handle that situation. He put me like the front face of the UX service for the company. So I was able to work with really big time clients in Germany, such as BMW Group, Eon, MediaMarkt, Vinces More is like the number one meat provider. Like there is a lot of big companies that some of them are digital, some of them are not, but they're really big time clients. So working with these people on really lengthy basis, like minimum 6-9 years per client, like put me in position where I was really grateful for, where I had exchanges with these advanced teams, with these advanced requirements, working on really complex problems. And that's how I developed my portfolio of references, and that I'm still pushing to this day. So the idea was, or is, for me to continue working and as a consultant until maybe, I don't know, if the opportunity shows that I will join as a full-time in a certain company. It's not yet set, but for now, working as a consultant. And for those who don't know what a consultant is, basically you work with companies, but for a limited period of time. So it's like jumping from company to company, and
just for a specific project.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, it can be extendable. For example, extendable. For example, I've been working with MediaMarkt for 1 year now, but the idea is at some point I will leave to another company. So a consultant is like a help assistant that tries to solve problems that their internal team can't solve. So like you're the extra help that they bring. So that's the format I'm working with, and I will be still working this format until I probably land in a really good opportunity. Yeah.
Just to summarize الحاجات اللي قلتهم لنا، كنت تنجم تعطينا one tip اللي تخليك you stand out from other UI UX designers to land good opportunities.
Okay, so one tip, I think if you want to stand out as a UX designer, I think you need to define your own blueprint to what you consider success. So you don't have to emulate someone else's success in order for you to become a different UX designer or to have more value than other UX designers, because you can replicate someone else's process and someone else's blueprint, but you won't, and you can have their results, but you may not necessarily have the same feeling that they have. So it's very important for you as a designer to be comfortable in your own process, to be comfortable in your own vision and what you're trying to achieve. It's important for you to be consistent as in everything you do, either in your work, either in your process that you're trying to establish, either in the outputs that you deliver, and consistent even in your communication, in your respect for deadlines, in your everyday things. Like I think the most rewarding thing for a designer is to be consistent, because consistency creates a certain comfort that people can feel when they work with you. Also can create a lot of a good reputation for you as a designer, internally and externally, in the company and outside of the company, with colleagues and other. So consistency is the key, because as designers, as creatives, we tend to be really volatile, but that's a double-edged weapon. So you can be really creative sometimes, and you can really have a downtime a lot of times. So you need to navigate that, manage that in a way that you can have the maximum consistency across any task or any project or anything that you are getting into, because the same creativity that can create opportunities for you, the downfall of it can take away opportunities from you. The fact that you're not there, and it's not always there. People will always pick consistency over like volatility.
So to sum up, حكيت لنا اللي ممكن أهم تip بالنسبة ليك اللي هي consistency. ونتصور consistency مش كان في الخدمة. I guess as any job لازمك consistency في lifestyle معين, في time management متاعك, how you manage your life, your time, your schedule. Donc كنت تحكينا شوية على lifestyle متاعك as a UX designer.
Okay, so for me actually I'm a really like a what's called a low maintenance person, so it doesn't really take a lot from my lifestyle for me to maintain my balance. However, for a UX designer or a creative person, I think it's really important to manage your lifestyle, to maintain your mental health, because your worst enemy as a creative is the burnout. It's known like every designer has a burnout phase, like designers deal with burnout all the time, but it can be avoided when you sort of navigate your time better and try not to put too much pressure on yourself for things that are nobody asked you to put pressure on yourself on. So in terms of my lifestyle, I tend to navigate my time in a way that I at least free up one day to do nothing. Most of the time I tend to do things in it, but mentally I'll try to free up that day to do nothing, just to mentally reset, doing really simple things, sometimes just like listening to music or like really basic things, but they do it for me because you just can't do them any other day. So when you get to do them, you feel they're kind of special. In terms of how I navigate my life, it's pretty, I would say, generic. So it's like the coupling work with the gym life, trying to stay in the gym a bit, trying to have a bit of also a healthy diet whenever it's possible. So I'm trying not to drift so far in the like corporate life, like the stereotype of being like this geeky whatever image thing of a designer. No, I try to actually be on top of my game, on top of my life, try to still enjoy all the aspect of my life, even though I'm really, really dedicated and I'm really committed to what I do. But I almost force myself sometimes to deconnect, to take times off, to take days off, to deconnect from any pressure that I could create on myself, about deliverables, about deadlines, about work, etc. Because it's the worst enemy for creatives. It's the burnout, and I advise everyone actually to always care about their mental health, because once you reach that burnout, you are never the same person. Once you reach a point where you hate your job or you hate what you're doing, you can never get back, recover from that. So it's important that you navigate you keep. You are your own team, or like team you, team me. So make sure you're always playing for your own team and you're always winning in that specific game. So that's one of the most important aspects. Mental health, avoiding burnout as much as I could, even though it's hard. But I try to do it as often as I could. So my life is mostly around that. Trying to maintain as much peace as I could and avoiding burnout as much as I could.
Well, you're doing that by regenerating maybe once a week?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. 1 day a week. In worst cases, it's 1 day a week when I just do nothing or just do really simple things, like really things that are less draining.
Okay, before we finish, I'd like to ask you one more question about your future projects. عندك شي دي بروجي تخمم فيهم توا ولا تحكينا شوي عليهم؟
Okay, so my future projects I have two main ideas or two main projects that are totally different. One is about leaving. Actually, should I leave or not? I had a couple of offers about good opportunities that I could consider. And the second thing is actually staying and working more on creating more content in the same context of what we're sharing right now, like content that is relatable for starting designers, students, and in that circle. So not necessarily speaking about any master classes, but initially just being there more, because I'm a really low profile person by habit. So I think it could be useful for me to be out there more, share more. I think I have a lot of interesting things I could share to people that could help them out, like literally. And that I think my goals for the next phase will be around these two. Professionally, for me, is seeing what opportunities are there for me, and also in terms of my brand or my image, trying to maybe share more, be there out there more, and have more of these conversations and more of these exchanges.
I guess طبعا نكون وصلنا لآخر حلقتنا. We really want to thank Mr. طرادي خاطر جا معنا اليوم. He shared a lot of good things with us. حكيلنا على برشا حاجات really interesting. Even though like السكيدجول متاعك نجم يكون not as flexible أما still it's a really big honor for us اللي انت جيت معنا. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, it's part of my lifestyle. كيف ما حكينا. So actually being with you guys today, it was super fun. It was super great, and really happy to meet you all. And yeah, it's don't worry about it.
Well, thank you again, Mr. Anas. هكا نكونوا كمان الابيزود نتاعنا. ميرسي للعباد اللي كملت معنا. كان معكم عزيز السواعي
وكانت معكم منيار مكسي. Merci à toute l'équipe, Wajdi à la console, Nouhe et tout le team de JDSI et Satsu qui ont assuré le bon achèvement de cet épisode. Et bien sûr, un grand remerciement à la GIZ. Merci beaucoup للي سمعتونا وإن شاء الله تكونوا استفدتوا معنا بالباهي. ما تنساوش vous abonner à la chaîne YouTube متاعنا. تسمعونا على سبوتيفاي، جوجل، أبل بودكاست، وتتابعونا على الباج فيسبوك جوجل ديفلوبر ستودنت كلوب إيساتسو. على بروشين إن شاء الله وبسلامة.
باي.
طاولة وكريسي
بودكاست.